What's good, guys? About to train some legs. Gonna do some squats, gonna do some knee extensions, gonna do some calf raises. So it's gonna be a good workout. Let's get to it. There is no secret. There's nothing that someone's not telling you that's gonna get you to where you wanna be.
You ready?
You need to do everything that you can do every single day to get where you wanna be no matter what.
Come on. Good. Come on.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I actually picked up my camera, but I am back now. Things should start to pick up a little bit more here. But this is my leg workout that I went through. So I started with doing some squats. So this is at my parents' house. So my gym equipment is limited, but I am still able to do a lot of bigger movements, especially with legs. So I started off with doing these. I started off with 45-pound plates on each side, and then I increased it from there. But I wanted to start off pretty light because I haven't done legs in a while up until this point. So I wanted to make sure I warmed up properly before getting into any pretty heavy weights. And especially for legs in general, I like to spend extra time warming up more than I would with other muscle groups that I'm using. Just because, like I said, legs is one of those things for me where I'm just very picky with my form and how I warm up just to make sure I prevent any injuries from occurring when I'm working out. But next I moved up and added some 25 pounds on each side as well. For these I was going for about 12 to 15 reps. I did want to decrease the reps as I went on and as the weights got heavier. So I did kind of do like a pyramid style workout for legs in terms of my squats. And since I don't have as much equipment, I find that I do a lot more sets on the same types of exercises, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just kind of switches it up for me and helps me really isolate a certain muscle group, especially with doing squats. So that's what I decided to do. I did go up a little bit heavier after this and did a couple sets, and then I believe I went down in weight for the last set just to kind of offset the heavy weight and do more reps and less weight as a whole. But this is kind of the weight that I stayed at for a lot of my sets, which was 245-pound plates. Still try to maintain form as best as possible, make sure my knees aren't buckling in or out too far. For squats, I always make sure that my foot placement is correct before I start, and then make sure my knees are aligned and make sure I'm sitting back properly to get a good form when I am squatting. That's always important, especially for big movements like this. But 245-pound plates felt pretty good as I was moving it. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. Some days, honestly, it's a drag and I can't do weight that I usually do. And even if I can, it feels super heavy. And then there's other days where, I'll knock out 5 sets of 225 and it just feels right. So your body changes throughout the day depending on how tired how tired your body is and everything like that. But today felt pretty decent. It wasn't too bad. Nothing felt too heavy. But I did get a decent amount of sets in, like I said, which I was happy with. Because when I get up to this weight, sometimes I do feel like I am a little tired from my warm-up sets. So overall, I do try to balance that out and find a happy medium between getting a good enough warm-up, but also not going too hard and kind of ruining my sets that are coming up. So I kind of try to balance it out, like I said, depending on how I feel. And that kind of changes day by day and based on, many factors, how much sleep I got and stuff like that. So it's kind of a constant battle for adjusting that, but I kind of just go along with it each day. And if I do too much one day or too little one day, I'll just learn for the next session, what I have to change moving forward. But that's pretty much the plan in terms of legs. Usually I like to do some knee extensions or something like that, but I kind of ended this workout here just because I felt like I got a good enough workout as a whole. But that's pretty much this workout as a whole, guys. I hope you enjoyed the workout, and I hope you guys also enjoy the rest of the video. Alright guys, so this is my desk setup before changing anything. As you can see, I'm using a wooden chair and just some basic necessities like a printer, and I have a monitor as well to hook up to my laptop and other basic things like that. But after years of using this setup, there are some certain things that I decided to change in order to increase my productivity, because I am behind this desk a lot of the day, especially when editing videos and studying and doing other things like that. So I will show you guys what I added as those supplies come in, but this is the general start of my desk before I change anything. First thing I did, guys, with my desk was I took off the top piece. So that had a lot of extra storage so I could put things on top of it, but overall it kind of cluttered up the space and made the room feel smaller. So after taking it off, I actually really like the look of it. It's very minimal and clean. So this is going to be my base for starting off with everything else I add with my desk. So I was using that hard wooden chair that you guys saw earlier, and I swapped it out for a nice ergonomic chair. Since I am having long hours at my desk, I wanted to invest in something that I'm actually comfortable in and something that supports my back. So this does have lumbar support, and it's going to be a little more comfortable for me when I am working long periods of time, like I said. So another new piece for my desk that came in, guys, was a Bluetooth keyboard. I did want a new keyboard because my laptop and my monitor are going to be pretty far back on my desk now, and it's just easier to have a keyboard that I can actually switch back and forth between devices. Since it is Bluetooth, I can easily, just with one push of a button, switch between my laptop and my phone. So this keyboard is about the size of a normal keyboard. All the keys are circular. So over here, the yellow buttons are the different devices that you can switch through using Bluetooth. So you can preset different devices based on which one you want between 1, 2, and 3, and then you can just switch between any of them at any time and continue typing, which is pretty cool. My laptop is going to be back there, so having a keyboard will help a lot. I'm going to use this a lot, and I'm excited to try it out. I also have this shelf by my bed as well. Most of this is just used for books that I've read or books that I plan on reading, and then also just previous textbooks that I've used in the past. But I plan on decluttering this a little bit and organizing it, so I'll show you guys the final product once I am finished with that as well. I'm still waiting on some of the products that I ordered to come in until I can actually complete my full desk setup. So I will give you guys updates on when all that comes in, but it's going to be probably scattered throughout the next couple days. But as of right now, I'm going to keep cleaning up my room, and then yeah, we'll go from there. What's up, guy? Wow. So this is currently the hair situation I'm dealing with. Haven't had a haircut in probably like 2 months, 3 months. It's pretty bad. I am planning on getting a haircut probably next week. I did trim the beard a little bit because it was getting long. So I feel like I don't know what to do with my hair because it's usually not this long. I usually keep my hair a little bit shorter just because it's easier to maintain, and especially with summer coming up. I just like having shorter hair in general because I don't have to worry about, I don't know, just taking care of it, and it just feels hotter and more of a hassle. But I do like longer hair. Like I said, I've just tended to lean towards getting shorter haircuts just for that reason, just because it's hot and it's a little bit harder to maintain. But right now I'm going to do what I can with my hair until I can get a haircut, and then we'll go from there. So I hope you guys are all doing well. It's been probably like 2 or 3 weeks since I filmed last. It feels weird picking up my camera, honestly. So guys, I wanted to give you a little update on how everything's been going with my diet. So I have been able to get a little more frequent with my meals and timing them correctly. So I was shooting for about 2 hours between meals. So every 2 hours I would eat a meal. And when I first started this prep, it was really hard for me to, first of all, just eat that much in total. So now that I have a couple weeks of experience under my belt with prep as a whole, I feel like it's a little bit easier for me to track my meals and be more consistent throughout the day with getting meals in. That kind of just came along through practice, guys, because like I said, I was terrible at it at first. I didn't really, first of all, want to eat that much food, and also I didn't really know how to pace myself. And I found that at the end of the day, a lot of calories were not being consumed that needed to be. One thing that actually helped me, guys, was figuring out how much to put in each meal prep container. At first, I wasn't putting enough food in each one, or I was putting too much in, and then that would affect how much I had each meal, which would then affect my ability to get in all the meals throughout the end of the day. So I'm still in the process of gaining as much muscle mass as possible, and then I'm going to continue my cut and hire my coach for the rest of prep. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to start my cutting phase yet. I'm still going off of my bulk and seeing how I look before I continue into the next phase, which is the cutting phase. But I'll keep you guys updated on when I do that. But I'm going to be in touch with a coach and see what he thinks in terms of when I should start cutting. So guys, in terms of my meal prep food, I haven't really changed too much since I showed you guys last. But for my meal prep food, I mainly do 2 cups of white rice, a cup of French style green beans, and then 1 fillet of tilapia. So that's kind of my main go-to meal prep container. I make about 7 to 12 of these at one time, and that's pretty much just depending on how many days I want to prep for. So for most of my days, that's what I'm eating. I usually eat 3 to 4, maybe 5 of those containers a day, and then I fill in everything else with whatever is around the house. So I do want to keep my food pretty healthy as I continue prep, but my main focus is just hitting my macro goals right now. So that is my main priority. I want to keep my food pretty healthy, and my meal prep containers kind of keep me on track with that. But if I do have a couple other types of foods that aren't considered the healthiest, it's okay as long as I'm meeting my macro goals, because I am bulking right now, and that is what I decided to do based on my goals. So that's where I'm at with that. Also guys, I mentioned in a previous video that I would tell you when I changed my macros, and I actually did change them just a little bit, just to kind of tweak my goals in a sense, just because the macros I had before were pretty good, but I found that it was actually too much calories. I was already in a caloric deficit well beyond what my calorie intake was supposed to be. So I did lower that a little bit and change some numbers around. So I am at 400 grams of carbs right now, 200 grams of protein, and then 75 grams of fat. So I'm gonna try that out for a few weeks, see how it goes. If that seems to be a good number, then I will stick with that for a while until I get my coach. And then if he tells me to do otherwise, I'll do that. But again, guys, this is a learning process for me. So I'm just kind of playing around with my macros right now, trying to see what works best for me personally. So that's where we're at. So guys, that'll put me at right over 3,000 calories. And I think I will still be in a caloric deficit because I'm not doing anything too crazy in terms of burning a ton of calories throughout the day. I am generally pretty active, but I'm not doing any long distance running because I am trying to lift pretty heavy, and I'm not doing sets with a lot of volume and a lot of reps and everything like that. So I'm trying to keep the sets and the reps low, but the weight high. So I think that's gonna be good, but I'll let you guys know if I change it again. If you have not subscribed yet and you like this video, please consider subscribing, and then also like the video down below if you did enjoy it. Besides that, guys, I'll see you in the next episode.